Have you ever noticed how every year the world feels more and more toxic, more negative? It's hard not to get sucked into it, isn't it? Between uncertainty, instability, inflation, and the sheer grind of getting by, it feels like the world is just stacked against you. I know that that's how I felt before, but trust me, coming from somebody who was deeply entrenched in negativity earlier in my life, it's not the answer. Negativity made me absolutely miserable. Didn't help me, didn't change my circumstances, and it only held me back until one day I made a decision. I chose to adopt a positive mindset to move my life forward. And I want to make that really clear. It was a decision, it didn't just happen. And what's amazing about being human is our ability to rewire our own brains and reshape the way we think, perceive, and react around the world to other things and other people. It's something that makes us unique compared to any other species on the planet in the history of this earth. But let's be really real about it. Our brains are programmed to be negative. Evolution did that to us to keep us alive. As hunters and gatherers, we had to be hyper vigilant for danger, watching out for that saber-toothed tiger lurking in the bushes or a rival group ready to fight us and crack our skulls open. And even though most of us don't face those dangers today, our brains haven't updated their programming. We're still in version 1.0. I want to see you get your brain to
When
version
black lives are
2.0.
under attack,
To do
what do we
this,
do?
you have to get out of the
When
default
black lives are
negativity that's
under
part of our
attack,
ancient
what do we
roots.
do?
It's being
When
actively
black
made worse
lives
by
are under
today's world.
attack, what
You
do
look
we
at social
do?
media today, thrives on outrage. And there are just so many apps that are drawing your attention away from what's really important. Politics have become more divisive than ever. Post pandemic isolation, misinformation has only added fuel to the fire. People are just completely obsessed with everything that's going wrong and focusing on the toxicity in the world around us. And the result, more people rallying around anger, frustration, and that hate instead of collaborating. It feels like everything's a war now. It's not just about politics. It isn't about what who's saying on X or what someone's posting on Instagram. It's about money, religion, and just the petty online arguments, even between something like what's better, PlayStation or Xbox. People are going to find some rallying point to divide each other with instead of coming together in finding common ground and finding things that we mutually love and to build a better world and to at least having discourse that's more positive. And as humans, we're tribal by nature, right? So that's going to happen. We crave belonging. But here's the deal. You get to choose your tribe, right? So it isn't like you are just assigned one at birth and that's it and that's all you can be and that's all you will be. You can choose who you associate with and what's important to you and the ideas that are going to move your life forward rather than move you behind in terms of what you buy into and what you focus on and invest in. Most people stick to that default though. They choose the negativity, they drink the haterade and tear themselves and others down. But what if you consciously built your tribe around values like growth, positivity, and success? And what if you surrounded yourself with people who lifted you up and inspired you to dream bigger? People say that you're the average of the five people that you associate with the most.
When
And
black
while I think that's a
lives
bit
are
of an
under
adage,
attack,
I don't
what
think
do we
there's any
do?
scientific studies that have
When
proven
black
that.
lives are
I think
under
there's a lot of
attack,
truth to
what
it,
do we do?
that depending on who you
When
associate
black
with the
lives
most,
are under
you're going to
attack,
end up
what do we
being
do?
the culmination or mean of those five people, or at least that small inner circle of people you choose to associate with and confide in. So I want you to give yourself some time today to think, who are those top five people you're associating with in your life? Are they drawing you to things that are about growth and success and improvement? Or are they steeped in the negativity of everything that's wrong in the world and everything that's going wrong in your life? I know it's easy for me to answer where I'm at these days because I've really changed. In the past, I was maybe in the shoes you are today. Don't know your story, but my 20s were a mess. My dad died suddenly. My brother struggled with drug addiction, ended up on the streets. My girlfriend of 6 years and I broke up. And on top of that, I was stuck in a toxic, soul sucking job. In that moment, I chose the path of negativity. And guess what? Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Instead, I gained a ton of weight. I was binge eating my feelings, chasing the wrong people, wasting my money, making stupid investments, and staying stuck in misery, staying stuck in this idea that the world was against me. But the truth was, I was against myself. One day, though, I made that choice. I decided that this was not the life I was meant to live. I was better than that, and I deserved more. And that wasn't something that, even though it was a choice that happened in a moment, it wasn't a turnaround that happened overnight. So I started small. From that power of making a decision, I created a new Facebook profile. I completely wiped out my old negative one and committed to being positive on it. When I did choose to use social media, I want to be clear, it became a smaller facet of my life. I built a plan to leave my 9 to 5 grind that was burning me out and
When black
eating me up
lives
every
are
single
under
day.
attack,
I
what do
mapped
we
out what I
do?
wanted in my life, and then
When
I
black
reverse
lives
engineered the
are
steps
under
to get
attack,
there,
what do we
and I
do?
started from step one.
When black
Then I
lives
got to
are under
work.
attack,
It didn't
what do
happen
we do?
overnight. It took years, longer than I wanted. It started with improving my education, going for an MBA, after work every day, studying 3 to 4 hours for the GMAT exam. It was researching countries to go travel to learn Spanish, understanding the fields I wanted to get into that were more lucrative, that would leverage my current skills and interests. Those things took time. Networking, learning how to actually interact and navigate with people. I was horrible at it before. I think I've come a long way with that. And that's another aspect in this channel that I can't wait to get into with you a little bit later on. But the bottom line is that I took those steps and that I mapped that plan. I created my blueprint map for success. And I know that you can definitely do the same thing. It might take longer than you want. It took me years, quite honestly, longer than I wanted. But you know what? That's okay. The best things in life take time. Instant gratification isn't the goal, progress is. And in that time, I accomplished things I never thought would be possible. I lived abroad twice, for that matter, in Latin America. I became semi fluent in Spanish. When I earned my MBA, I did a term abroad and I took one of my classes in Spanish at a reputable high level university. And I got through that course with a B, plus, which I think is pretty decent for not knowing Spanish a year prior. I've worked with high profile consulting clients and with Fortune 500 companies. So I've managed to work in very high impact business roles where I've learned a lot. I've made money, which has been great. I've managed to break out of my 9 to 5 existence working for the corporate machine. And more importantly, I became a mentor. I helped others take step forwards in their dreams and to realize those dreams. And all of this started with that decision to stop letting negativity rule my life. I
When
hit my
black
rock
lives are
bottom.
under
I look back
attack,
at a
what do
picture
we
of
do?
myself during that
When
time when I
black
was
lives
weighing
are
like
under attack, what do we
230,
do?
40 pounds and
When black lives
just
are
not
under
looking healthy.
attack, what
That
do
would
we
be the
do?
nice way of putting it. And I will never get rid of that photo because when I look back, I see where I've come from in a relatively short period of time. Even though it has felt like a while, it really hasn't. So if you want to break free from the negativity, here's what you need to do. And I would start doing these things immediately. Stop doom scrolling. Social media thrives on outrage. Just step away from it. Just at least take one day away from social media a week. Just chill on the social media one day. See how you feel being away from that for a day. And I can almost guarantee you, you'll have felt you made the right decision and have no regrets. Detach from toxic people and environments beyond those applications. You don't know anyone your energy if they're only dragging you down. Stay informed for sure, know what's happening in the world, but don't obsess over it. So, of course, you should have an idea of who's running the United States and how the relations are between the US and other countries and the wars taking place in the world and economic factors. Those are all very important things, especially if you're an investor. It's good to have that geopolitical context. But if you're obsessed over it and it becomes your identity, that's a huge problem. And then you won't be able to take your energy and focus on the things that you can control and move your life forward. So, with that energy that you're taking for yourself, set big goals, reverse engineer them, work backwards to figure out those steps to get where you need to be. But just as importantly, be flexible with your goals. As you grow and evolve, your goals will too. When I look back to the successful people I've spoken with prior during my career, none of them ever told me when I asked, like, what was your path to success look like? None of them were saying, oh, it was a straight line, no problem. I went to business school, I finished at 22, I got my internship, I worked for one of the big consulting firms. I exited to industry
When black lives are under
it's not
attack,
like
what
that.
do
Or
we
even
do?
if it started that way, it
When
ended up
black
going in
lives
a
are
different
under attack,
direction,
what do
at
we
least a
do?
little bit than anticipated.
When black
So
lives are under
as you
attack, what do
continue
we
to
do?
progress, make sure you keep that creativity for those course corrections and embrace that journey, and knowing that your end destination won't look exactly like the beginning one. Even, for example, with this channel that I'm putting together now with these videos, my vision for it's already changing just within the first few videos I've posted. And that's an amazing thing, because it's becoming more refined and clear to me how I can add value to you and others that are watching this. So life is short. Negativity steals that time. Every moment you spend angry, bitter, or resentful is a moment you can't get back. When you choose positivity, you choose growth, connection, making a difference, and you start building a life worth living. Don't let negativity hold you back. Build yourself up. Just as importantly, build
When
others up.
black lives are
Focus on what
under
matters and
attack,
what you
what
can
do we
control.
do?
I'd love to hear about
When
your
black
story and
lives are
how
under
you've
attack,
conquered
what do we
your
do?
past negativity
When
and the
black
journey you're on
lives
to
are
doing
under
that.
attack, what do
What's
we
one
do?
step you're taking today to
When
live more
black
positively in
lives
your
are
life?
under
That's
attack,
perfect.
what do we
Let
do?
me know. Don't forget to
When
like and
black
subscribe for
lives
more
are under
content like this
attack,
if you
what
found
do
it
we do?
valuable. We're in this together,
When
and we're
black
going to build
lives
something
are